And we interrupt your normal schedule program as Governor Baker is providing an update on COVID-19. His press conference is just beginning. Let's listen in.
The Department of Early Education and Care is also updating its guidance to be in line with DESE's guidance. The guidance is one of many resources that we've made available to our schools over the past 2+ years. Our administration's pulled out every stop to keep kids in classrooms where they can learn safely. We're running vaccine clinics in schools across the state. We established the country's first free K-12 surveillance testing program and recently launched the take-home test program, which is available to every educator and child in Massachusetts. We've put the kids and their educators' safety and kids' education at the forefront of all of our decisions, and the same is true today. We've learned a lot about how safe schools are and how to keep kids in class learning over the course of this pandemic, and we have far more tools available to us to deal with the pandemic than we had back at the beginning. We know young people are at very low risk of getting seriously ill from COVID, and we know that fully vaccinated people are also at extremely low risk of getting seriously ill from COVID. This is, of course, even more pronounced for vaccinated children. All schools now have access to testing resources that were never before imagined, and every school-age kid and their family has had ample opportunity at this point to get vaccinated. Massachusetts actually ranks second in the nation for the highest share of kids fully vaccinated at this point in time. And we know from all of our surveillance testing through our Test and Stay program that school settings are very rarely sources of COVID transmission. And we also know that our kids have had to put up with a lot of disruption, a lot of time alone, and have suffered a real learning loss over the past 2 years. There's no debating those points, no matter where you stand. And from free and convenient testing to highly effective vaccines and breakthrough treatments, everyone now has the tools and the knowledge to stay safe with respect to COVID. These resources have allowed us to lift almost every single COVID restriction or mandate at the state level over the course of the past year and a half. And given the extremely low risk for young people, the widespread availability and the proven effectiveness of vaccines, and the distribution of accurate test protocols and tests, it's time to give our kids a sense of normalcy and lift the mask mandate on a statewide basis for schools. COVID, like many other respiratory diseases that we're familiar with, will be with us for the foreseeable future. Thankfully, the advances in vaccines, treatments, and testing are mitigating the harm that's caused by COVID. Those advances and the hard work of so many parents, educators, and kids here in Massachusetts make it possible to give our kids what they have earned, the familiar, welcoming, nurturing classroom that they're used to. We understand many students will continue to wear masks going forward for a number of reasons, and we fully support those individual decisions, and we would urge everyone in K-12 education to do the same. And we want to help schools make kids who make that decision feel comfortable doing so. From education to public health, our administration will continue to make sure kids are learning safely in the classroom, because that's where they learn best. We're a national leader with respect to kids' vaccination rates. We have some of the most robust testing resources for schools in the country, and we'll continue to bring vaccines to every corner of the state and to every school district that's interested in hosting a clinic, so that every family that wants one knows how to get one and has access to one. And we'll continue to innovate and supply schools with the best possible testing resources. People have made a lot of progress by doing all of the work that they've done over the past 2 years to help kids and those who work with them in schools. And today's announcement's another big step forward to safely manage COVID while we get back to what I would describe as the familiar and normal aspects of school and life. And with that, I will turn it over to Commissioner Riley.
Good morning. Thank you, Governor, Lieutenant Governor, and Secretary Pizer. Today we are lifting the
And that was Governor Baker announcing he will be lifting the school mask mandate effective February 28th, which is the end of the month. To keep watching this press conference, download our free Western Mass News app.
Unless a school district's